Hey YouTube, hi guys.
Girl, shut the fuck up. You thought you ate that?
Welcome to my new video for 2026. This is not the only video I've tried to film. I tried to do an Omegle video or Omegle, and I've done it 3 times, and every single time technical difficulties. So I just scrapped it and said I'll try again another time when I can figure out how to get it to work for me. Anyways, it's fine, but I do have a very special video for you guys today. We are going to be reading some Am I the A-Hole confessions from Reddit. So I have gotten some up on my iPad and we are going to read through them and give our opinions. And I'm sure some of them I don't have to even, you guys are going to agree with me anyways. And if not, put down in the comments below why you don't agree with me. Because let's get into it. But let's put on our glasses and let's read, shall we? The first one, I think it's kind of juicy. Anyways, am I the a-hole for leaving my situationship for another guy? Because the situationship did not want to slap a label on our relationship.
Wow, man.
Okay. I, 27 female, was in a situationship. Also, don't mind the stuttering, I'm dyslexic. Okay, do not judge me. Was a female. I, 27 female, was in a situationship for 10 months. I often felt like I wasn't a priority. He was giving bare minimum effort. We spoke about it. He, 29 male, said his career was more important to him. Ooh, okay. Especially he was trying to move to the UK for his medical career, doing all the exams, etc. He can't commit to this relationship at all. He left for the UK for 3 months while I was casually using dating apps to meet people with similar interests. I found someone I felt a little attracted to. I decided to end the situationship and explore this new connection / possibility before anything even started. When I was ending the situationship, I said all I wanted was a label. If we were officiated, I think that's what the word is, excuse my grammar, I wouldn't have even looked because it will give me some kind of security and certainly, I'm just gonna assume she meant he said, I've already treated you like a girlfriend. The label doesn't matter. All I want is to wife you up. Huh? The label doesn't matter. All I want is to wife you up. Isn't the whole point of you saying I want you to be my wife is to put a label on it? Anyways, from his point of view, I should have waited unconditionally. I just will have to wait for him to manage to secure a career and he will start providing and commit without any timeline. And certainly, I don't think that's what she means to use, but anyways, now he paints me as someone who left him for someone else, where my stance is there's no commitment to begin with. Am I the a-hole? No, babe, you're not the a-hole. How can you be the a-hole? You just want some more assurity. There you go, I guess that would be the word. Assurity from him on where you stand. Because how are you going to say if your career is more important to you and you know it's going to take you a while to secure that career in medical, why string her along and expect for her to stay around if you guys are in a situationship where you're acting like you're in a relationship when you're not in a relationship? She is in her right to go and look for someone else that is ready to put a label on it, and she went and got it. You didn't leave him for someone else. You upgraded, babe. You upgraded from him to someone who actually wants you. He had his chance and he blew it. And now he's trying to flip it and be like, well, if you waited. Why should she wait? Especially when there's no timeline. She can't figure out when you're going to be ready. Because clearly you ain't ready. Especially if you want to be in the medical field. You've got a long way to go. Like, that's not happening, baby. Like, he wants to wife you up. No, babe. How can you wife someone up but yet you're not willing to put a label on it? So what? So she must be wifed up with you, but she can't even call you her boyfriend. Okay. He's the a-hole, babe, not you. Next, am I the a-hole if I don't let my friends stay at my place? Okay. My friend, Ella, 40 female, and I, 40 male, are away from our home for a month. 4 of my good friends are visiting our home city this weekend. I was unfortunately unable to join them. They texted tonight asking if they could crash at our place tomorrow, as they decided to stay an extra night but couldn't keep the hotel room. I asked Ella and she said sure, but reminded me about the sketch. The sketch. We have a detailed pencil sketching of Ella. Hanging in our master bedroom. It's beautiful and artsy and nude. Okay. When people visit, we take it down, but we didn't bother to take it down before we left. Well, you wait for the people to ask you, can we stay at your place? It's a 3-bedroom place, and it's possible they won't even come into our bathroom. So I have 3 choices as I see it. 1, let the guys know the sketch is hanging, but be cool about it. 2, don't mention it, they might not see it. Or 3, tell them it's not a great idea that they stay over. I'm leaning towards option 2, but am I the a-hole if I tell them I'd rather they not stay at our place this time? I don't think you're an a-hole because you're giving your wife privacy. Like, that's your wife. Like, you don't want your friends to see what you're supposed to see behind the doors, like behind the curtain, like doing the sheets. Like, I'm sure it is beautiful. I'm sure bodies tea, period. I mean, from the text, he said that she said sure, but they reminded him about the sketch. So without context, I can't tell if she was down for it, and maybe she was like, do you feel comfortable with them seeing the sketch? Because maybe she's like, I'm okay with it, but are you okay with it? See your friends seeing me nude. So without the context, no, I don't think he is. I don't think he's being irrational. To maybe say they can't stay at his place this time, and he doesn't even have to give a detailed reason on why. Just say, oh no, sorry, we didn't have a spare key, we didn't leave a spare key because we weren't expecting anyone to stay, so sorry. Maybe if I'd known in advance, we could have set something up. I don't think you're an a-hole for that, because even if your wife is uncomfortable with that, she's told you her boundaries. She doesn't want them to be in the house because of the sketch. Like, fair enough, you could always just tell, okay, yeah, but the master bedroom is off limits. But like, people are nosy. I'm sure they'll think, okay, he won't know if I've gone in the room. They'll probably go in the room and see the sketch in the bathroom, and you might not know until maybe they're kikiing ha when they see you and your wife come back a month later. So I don't know, but I don't think you are. I don't think you're being irrational. I don't think so. I don't think you're being irrational to say they can't stay. It's understandable. This one is funny. Am I the a-hole for farting while in the bathroom of our home? Or even that title is making me laugh because this should not even be a question. I, female, live with my boyfriend, male. He initiated spicy time, but acknowledged me saying I need to go pee. Afterwards, I'm peeing with the door open, but I felt I needed to fart. So I closed the door and began doing so. In which he's standing outside the bathroom, swings the door back open, in which I fart again. He becomes angry, saying, it's not f***ing funny. I'm repulsed and disgusted by you, and you wonder why I don't want to touch you. You're dirty.
What the fuck, y'all? God damn!
What? It's not funny. I'm repulsed and disgusted by you, and you wonder why I don't want to touch you. You're dirty? Keep in mind, I have good hygiene and take care of myself. I simply just farted whilst on the toilet. He told me before it's not ladylike and has gotten frustrated me before over it. It's not like one of those loud, stinky ones, but like a toot. Anyways, am I the a-hole for farting? Let me hear you hear this. It's human nature. If God didn't want you to fart, he would have made it impossible for girls to fart. Boys need to get over this ridiculous, I can't imagine my girl farting around me. I can't imagine her farting around me. How about you man up and accept human nature? Are you dumb? It's not woman-like. Did I tell you to stand at the door and hear me fart? Did I tell you to stand at the door? I'm human. Am I supposed to just let it bubble and hurt my belly for you and your comfort? Please. He seems like he's just, ugh. Now, I don't know if that's real. It could be. But how? When thing is, you tried to close the door and he's gone and swung the door open because he heard you doing it. He should have just minded his business and acted as if he didn't hear it. Like, it looks like he's trying to find a way to argue with you for some reason and find another reason to try and be like, break up with you. He's the a-hole, babe. He's the a-hole. Talking about you wonder why I don't want to touch you. And you wonder why I don't want to touch you. You know what? Break up with him. Break up with him. Literally. Because giving negative energy over a fart. Yeah, he's acting as if you've sat and farted on his face and made him swallow it. Like, it's not. It's. I'm finding it. He's the a-hole. Next. Am I the a-hole for handing money to someone during a dinner party? I have a complicated relationship with my 3 siblings. We're all in our 30s. My mother retired. We threw a party. My sister texted everyone during dinner to let us know that she ordered the appetizers and we owed her $17 and her Venmo account name. The appetizers were $50. Yes, I realized she turned a profit. I would rather gave her money than have her in my life. Ooh. Well, I got up and put $20 in her hand and I said, I don't have Venmo, I didn't eat tonight, here's a 20. My cousin asked why I got up and I said, my sister texted me something and now it's handled. Then, that's when the looks and whispers started. Everyone found it rude to give her money during a dinner party. I gave it to her when I saw the text, and after the plates had been removed, I wasn't on my phone while others ate. I didn't have anything except water because I'm allergic to most of the foods at the location, so I ate beforehand. Am I the a-hole for handling money to my sister during a dinner party? No, babe. No. Because how you... the person messaged you during the dinner asking for you guys to give them the money. So how is it because the cousin wasn't in on the text, doesn't understand the context, and here we go doing Chinese whispers over to the next without knowing the context of why you're giving your sister the money during the dinner? Like, that makes no sense. Like, no, how are you any more of an a-hole? How are you any more of an a-hole than the person that texted you during the dinner for the money? Like, but then at the same time, if your sister didn't want to receive the money during the dinner, she wouldn't have told you guys to do it and giving you her Venmo to do it. Maybe if, I guess because you did the cash, maybe that's what brought the uproar. Maybe if you did it on Venmo. Maybe she didn't want everyone to know you were giving her money, but it seems like the cousin was the one that had the issue, if anything. So maybe the cousin is the one that's actually the problem here because the sister didn't care. She did not care. She just wanted her money. This is that the cousin is the problem here. So no, baby, you're not the a-hole. No one on here is giving me they're the a-hole since the other party is. Next. Ooh, okay. Next one. Am I the a-hole for ending a date after harmless? Question. Ooh. But how harmless is harmless? Last night, I met a guy off the apps, I'm dead, for a dinner date. We arrived at the restaurant, exchanged pleasantries, and ordered our drinks and food. After about 5 minutes, he leaned over and asked me, are you a man? No. I was shocked. For context, I'm very much a woman, long hair, curvy, and was wearing a cute dress, makeup, the whole deal. Period. Love that for you, queen. However, I'm also 178 centimeters in height. I think that's around like 5'10", 5'11". I don't know. He swore he wasn't trying to offend me. You're just so tall for a woman, he said. Still, I felt like I had just been slapped. So I politely excused myself from the table, paid for my drink, cancelled my food order, wished him a good rest of the night, and left. At the time, I was upset and convinced the man was an idiot. Now that I've had time to cool down, I'm wondering if I overreacted. His tone wasn't negative or accusatory. Accusatory. I don't know. Damn, I'm gonna regret that later. And there's nothing wrong with being trans. Am I the a-hole for immediately bailing? No, I don't think so. Because I know he can ask that if he wants to. But at the same time, on most dating apps, don't you put your height in them? So he already knew how tall you were. So from the height, he's now assumed that you're a man because you're tall. Have we never met stallions? Like the stallion, aka for one. Like, there's plenty of stallions. Angel Reese. A whole Victoria's Secret angel now. So why are we acting as if all of a sudden a tall woman equals has to be transgender? Like, what? No, girl, you're not the a-hole for overreacting. Cause I mean, I personally, I don't think I would have stayed after that question, because then I feel like most of the conversation, that would have just made this conversation go down. Like, it's made the vibe go down. It's a bit sour now. Other than me being tall, what about me screams transgender? Because there's a lot of beautiful transgender women out there. He should have asked that question probably beforehand, or if you've put you're a woman, you're a woman. Don't you think you would have told him if you were transgender? So I don't think you're an a-hole for failing, because I just feel like the conversation since after that for the rest of the night would probably have dipped. You never know, it could have picked up. Maybe if she had stayed a bit longer, it would have picked up, but I feel like you would have just been probably talking about that. I feel like your brain would have been able to cut off from the comment, like it would still be in the back of your head. So I don't think so. I don't think you are. Am I the a-hole for getting mind-blowingly high on accident? Babe, there's the answer already. No. But let's hear her out. I was out with some classmates at a club. I don't drink and I have social anxiety, so I took someone up on his offer for a marijuana vape. Am I an idiot? In about 2 minutes, I was so obliterated that I couldn't move or speak. It was so bad I considered asking the bartender to call an ambulance. Except I couldn't stand up. I sat there for what seemed like forever, just praying no one would notice, while also terrified about how I was going to get home. Finally, a classmate spoke to me, and though I couldn't understand what she was saying, I did manage to tell her I wasn't okay. She got me water and said we would just wait it out until I sobered up. But our time was up and we had to leave the private room we were in. I panicked and ran to the door. I heard her asking people where I went. She was so worried, but I just kept going. She messaged me to make sure I was okay, and I told her I was fine. I was not fine, and I managed to walk 10 blocks in 3rd-degree weather to get a train home. Am I the a-hole for being such an idiot and almost ruining her fun night by having her babysit me? Or should I have just got over myself because no one probably cares? Look into my eyes. You're not the problem. You're not an a-hole because a classmate of yours asked you if you were okay. You're allowed to say you're okay because you know you weren't okay. And something could have happened to you that night and no one would have known what had happened. Why something happened to you. Anything could have happened. You didn't intentionally mean to do it. You didn't think you were gonna get that high. You kind of just thought, okay, it might take the edge off. You're not an a-hole. Trust me. You made a mistake and mistakes happen. Like, you don't have to stress, and I'm sure that woman, that lady, classmate, I don't think she would have minded because you're out with her. Girls support girls. She's worried about your safety, and I'm sure she still had a good night because she's still spending time with you. She's just making sure you get home okay and that you're feeling okay. You don't need to go to the hospital. You don't need a doctor. You don't need nothing. You're not an a-hole. You didn't ruin her night. She wasn't obligated to babysit you, but she did it out of the goodness of her heart to take care of you. She's not babysitting you. She's making sure that you are okay. I don't think you're an a-hole, but not even don't think. I know you're not one. Don't sweat it. On to the next. Am I the a-hole for leaving a date early after they showed up looking nothing like their photos? I feel like Ned from Catfish. I, 27 female, matched with someone, 26 male, on a dating app, and we talked for about 2 weeks before meeting up. Their profile had a lot of photos, clear face pictures, full body shots, no filters that I could tell. We had good conversations, similar interests, and I was generally looking forward to the date. When I arrived at the restaurant, I didn't recognize them at first. They eventually waved me over, and it became clear that they looked very different from their photos. Not just different angles different, but clearly much older photos and a pretty big difference in appearance overall. I tried to be polite and stayed for about 20 minutes. We made small talk, but I couldn't shake the feeling that I'd been misled. I ended up telling them that I didn't feel a connection and that I was going to head out. I paid for my drink and left. They later messaged me saying it was rude and hurtful to leave early and that the attraction can grow if you give it a chance. A friend of mine said I should have just stayed for the full date since I was already there and that leaving early was shallow and embarrassing for them. I didn't insult them or comment on their appearance. I just didn't want to continue a date that started off with what felt like dishonesty. Am I the a-hole? The person that catfished you, I don't know if maybe they didn't think they were catfishing you because it's still them, but it's probably from years ago, months ago. Maybe they look so different now. Maybe to them, they didn't think there was a problem with it. I can kind of see what you mean because technically, I guess you started off, you kind of felt misled because you thought you were meeting the person you saw in the photos when really they don't look anything like them. You're saying the pictures weren't filtered at all, so maybe that person just put on a bit of weight, or maybe they just lost, has some hair loss along the way of those pictures. You never know. You never know why that person might look the way they look now. I feel like you probably should have stayed a little bit longer, because you never know. If maybe you're not attracted to them anymore, but maybe you could have gotten on with them because maybe their personality. But if you don't feel a connection because of, like, I guess they kind of gave you a false introduction because they don't look like themselves. I don't think you're an a-hole for getting up. No. I think maybe getting up and leaving might have been a-hole material. Because I felt you could have stayed. You already stayed 20 minutes after and you stayed. You should have just stayed for the full and stayed and seen if you could have gotten on personality-wise. Maybe you could have grown to like him. Maybe. I don't know. I think what you did when you left, yes, was a-hole-ish. But I don't think you're an a-hole for feeling the way you felt when you saw them and feeling a bit misled, because yes, they technically did catfish you. They probably should have used a more up-to-date photo when they applied for the apps, but who knows how long they had the apps. If it's a really old app, they just never updated it enough. You tried to be polite and stay 20 minutes. Maybe I think if you don't feel initial reaction to them, fair enough. I think you getting up and leaving early might have been rude. I think. Don't get me wrong, you're not obligated to be there. You're not obligated to stay if you don't feel comfortable and you kind of can't get over the fact that you feel like you've been lied to for this whole entire time, and the person you technically thought you were probably going to be with doesn't look like who you wanted it to be with. That's not a-hole-ish. What you probably getting up at the date, I think might have been, because you probably could have gotten on if you actually stayed a bit longer, but at the same time you can't force someone to like someone if they don't like them. So yeah, this one is a hard one. I don't know. I'm just gonna leave it here because I feel like I'm just going in circles here. I don't think we're getting anywhere with this one. Next. Oh, okay. Am I the a-hole for rejecting my girlfriend of 2 years marriage proposal? Alright. My girlfriend, 23, and I, 23, been dating since sophomore year of college. We both live with our parents and getting our lives sorted. I work an internship and a part-time job. She stays at home doing graduate classes online. I just got my license. She just got her permit. We're trying to get a start in life, but I love her. 2 weeks ago, she asked for me to come to her house, sat me down and asked if we could get married. Her parents were in on it. To anyone else, this would feel like a dream, but I just got an overwhelming feeling of dread. I love this woman and want to marry her someday, but I explained to her I don't feel comfortable in this position to move on to the next chapter yet. Or move on to that next chapter yet, sorry. I have every intention to be with her forever. Aww. But marriage right now is off the table for me. But we have our issues as people. She's currently in therapy for anger management. Ooh. And while I love her, I don't feel very comfortable expressing myself or my concerns without her lashing violently. She'll come back later to express that she's sorry about it, but the whiplash has taken an emotional toll on our relationship. I also don't know where I'm going with my relationship, with my career, and I just need to figure out a lot of things and grow as a person before I feel ready to launch into that phase of us. I expressed this to her and she's been cold for a while. We went on 4 dates and she's been quiet through all of them. I feel like I'm crazy now. Am I crazy for not wanting to be married now? Did I ruin my relationship with my girlfriend? I know no one ever feels truly ready for marriage, but we're both still a long way to go as people, and I need to figure out life about before then. Need a lot of advice and feeling backed into a corner alone. I think that feeling of dread might be your body telling you something else, because sometimes you gotta listen to your body. Sometimes you gotta listen to your brain. Sometimes you need to trust your instincts. I think your body is telling you something. If you don't feel comfortable ever talking to your girlfriend about your feelings and your opinions on things because she's got anger management problems, and lashes out when you try and explain something to her that you feel strongly passionate about, or something like that very emotional to you, I get it. Give people chances. She's going there to better herself. She's in therapy over it. But I don't think therapy is working if she keeps lashing out at you still. I don't think you're an a-hole for not wanting to get married, because there's a lot of people that get married too early and they break up and get divorced because it wasn't right for them. That person they thought was right for them wasn't right for them. You're already seeing her true colors. Now imagine if you're married and trapped in that marriage. You've not ruined your relationship, but you're not crazy for feeling the way you feel. You're not an a-hole, babe. You're not. You're saying that you don't want to get married until you feel emotionally, physically, financially, career-wise stable to be together. You both don't have good paying jobs to support each other and to live alone with each other. Why would you get? And the fact that her parents are saying that you should is crazy. You've only just started to get your life together, guys. Like, no rush. You wanting to be stable first before getting married and taking that big step is normal. And that's a good thing, because people be rushing into marriages that they're not financially ready for, they're not emotionally ready for, and them and the person are not right to be together, and they find out when they're in the relationship too far in. I think you should trust your intuition. I know you love her, and you this is the woman of your dreams. You're saying you want to be married with her, you want to have kids, you see a life with her, just not right now. That's fine. That's fine not to want to rush into it. You're telling her that we should probably grow as people first before we try to. You never know what might happen along the way. 2 years, cool, that's a commitment. But being married is a bigger commitment than just 2 years. That's a lifetime till one of you die, or both of you die, whoever. Do you know what I mean? That's a big commitment, and you saying that you rejecting the proposal is not crazy. You are not the a-hole. At this point, she sounds like she might be the a-hole. She might be the a-hole. Next, am I the a-hole for not accepting my gay son? Yes. So guys, we have come to the end of the video. I had so much fun reading those. It was very fun to give my opinion on something that maybe is none of my business to know anyways.
Yeah.
But they put it on there. It's anonymous, it's okay. So that was very fun. I might do a part 2 if anyone enjoys it and wants to see a part 2. Let me know. I might just do it anyways. Why not? Give more content. Give you guys something to watch as you eat. Give you guys something that you can have an opinion on too in the comments. There. Yeah, that was so much fun. I enjoyed that. I actually think I might do one of these with one of my friends. I feel like that'd be fun to have 2 people's opinions. Maybe someone could be playing devil's advocate. You never know. Some people might agree with her, and someone I might not agree with the person. You never know. So that would be fun. I would like to really do that. I do have some ideas lined up for you guys for videos, and I got some really good ones coming. So if you want to see, turn on my post notifications to get alerted when I post next. Love you guys so much. Stay tuned for the next video. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in my next post on the channel. Bye bye.